Hey guys, and welcome to the first installment of How to iDefine. This channel was made just to help you guys understand what iDefine can do, how it can help you in engineering, and how model-based system engineering works. So let's get into it. Let's open up iDefine on here. So you've got it by this little logo here. And we're going to click New to create a new project. Now, the project I'm going to create today is called traffic lights. I bet you can't guess what it is. And we're going to go through how to make traffic lights. Basically, it's one of those things that you do in high school and everything, but it is a good example of how you can use iDefine to build a logical system. And yeah, so we're going to pick a folder to save it into and select all the username and password. And then we're going to press OK. And this starts to build the project for us. And then you click done. As simple as that. So now we're going to log in and just wait for that to process. And there you go. So this is the main project screen. Now I'm not going to take you through these options on the left. Click on the pop-out banner if you want to see a description of those. I'm going to jump straight in and I'm going to build a module, and these modules are state transition modules. Now I'm going to label it, and then I'm going to add a description and a purpose. Now in these boxes you want to fill out basically what it says, what's the description, a quick description, and then what is the purpose of this module, what is it meant to do. So the purpose I've written here starts in red, that's the initial condition, then from there it will transition after 30 seconds to amber red, and then after 3 seconds it will transition to green, and then after another 30 seconds it will transition to amber, and then from amber after another 3 seconds it will transition to red. So I've not got any external stimulus here, it's all just time based, but that's how we're going to start. And you just want to press OK. So this is the iteration. You can add comments for that particular iteration and it will automatically create a new iteration every time you resave. So now this is loaded up, it will open up with a page where you can change the title, but this is the area where you're going to create your state module. So first you want to create title at the top, and then you want to straight away just drag on a state. Now in this instance we're going to call this first state red, so you double click on the state module, state, and call it red. And then you can copy and paste as well, so you can just copy and paste and then double click, and it'll auto label a different label, but you can call it whatever you want. We're going to call it red amber here. If you don't copy and paste, you can just drag another one on as well, and then just keep relabeling. Green, and we want a amber. Yeah, amber. Okay, so from there we want to create the transitions between the states. Now we can just drag from one block to another, and it will auto label them 1 to 2, 2 to 3, etc. And you can see the numbers in the top right hand corner of each block. Now what's a good practice to do here is to label each one of these with comments, because then you can see graphically what's going on. And this is a good thing to do when you're in an environment like a workshop. So say you've got system owners, and you've got software engineers and hardware engineers and everyone else under the sun, even management. They all will understand what you're talking about when you're putting these down. So it's good practice to create comments. So you just create a comment, you can attach it to that, and then you can resize it however you want. Just copy and paste and do the same for all the rest. And once that's all done, you want to click on a transition to set what that transition does. Now there's nothing in there at the moment because we've not set any variables up for these transitions. So to do so, you need to go to Module Explorer here at the top, and then at the top you can see a little clock. If you click on that clock, this will set a timer variable, of which I'm saying greater than 30 seconds, and you can just add a quick description in there for that. And once that's done, you just click OK, and that's saved, and you can see it there in that tab there. So we can now add that to our transition. And now you can see it comes up on here. Now this is a cause effect. So if you click that, you're basically saying that on that transition, I want this to be true. So I want 30 seconds to be true to have elapsed. That's basically what you're saying. So now I'm going to add another one. I'm going to add a description for that. So this is the 3-second one. So we've got the 30 seconds and the 3 seconds. Add a quick description in there for the 3 seconds. Click OK, and then I'm going to go to the next transition. So double click on T223, and then I can add the 3-second delay to that transition. So you can see both have come up there. You just want the 3-second one there, and then click save. So one of the biggest features of iDefine is the ability to emulate at any point in your design. So right now I just want to quickly emulate. I don't want to build anything, I don't want to do anything, I just want to quickly emulate my design. Now you can see here I've pressed play and I've changed the thing at the top to say from defining to emulating, and on the right you can see that that time is going up, and as that increments and gets to 30 it will transition. So there you go. So you can see that it's done that there. So we're going to go back to define mode, and we're going to change the colors because people love different colors, as you know. So we're going to change red to red so that when we simulate it, it will be red, and then amber will be amber and green will be green. And you do that just by clicking on the properties button, which will open the tab on the right, and you'll be able to change the colors just in that properties area over there. So we're going to change red, amber and green, and then we're going to emulate it again, and you'll be able to see red when it's red, amber when it's the amber red, and then green, and then it will go to amber and then back to red. So now we've got that, I want to show you the simulations. Now the simulation page is the area where you can see everything graphically. So for traffic lights, we want to see traffic lights, right? So we want to see at least LEDs on a page. So that's where you can do this. Now I'm going to quickly create a label for it, a description, and then I'm going to press OK, and again iterated all the time in the background. Now on here I'm going to start to build up from this area here. Now this area here is the template, right? So you can drag these templates on, and then you can create tags for each of these templates. So all I'm doing there is I'm creating a tag, labeling it, adding a quick description, changing the color down there on the right to the right color, and then it's just populating that in the database. So it's basically creating an input to that. Now from there, I'm going to go back to here, and because I've created those tags in the database, I can now assign those tags as outputs from this state module. So as it transitions through them, and you can see them on the right here in the Object Explorer, all I need to do is drag them up to the Outputs tab at the top and click OK, and then it creates an output. Okay. Now if I go to output, you can see this cause and effect diagram, and I want to set the states on the left to the relate them to the outputs that I've now associated, right? So I want to say that when I'm in the red state, I want it to be red. When I'm in the amber, I want it to be amber. And when I'm in the green, I want it to be green. Now I also want it to be red and amber when I'm in the red and amber state. So that's what I've done here. So now I want to create a output configuration. Now an output configuration, here on the left, I just click on the tab and I click new. An output configuration is compiling all the modules and everything. So imagine if you have multiple modules, we just got one in this case, but these modules can get compiled together and can be put into a simulator that takes everything into account, the screens and everything, right? So what I've done there is I've added my module to my output configuration, and I can add a description in there quickly, and then just click OK and create my output configuration. So this is the number of iterations that I've got for that output configuration, and you can cycle back at any time. So you can create a new one every time if you want to, and you can always cycle back to old configurations, right? So now I want to build my output configuration. So I've compiled everything together, but now I need to build it into one thing that I can use to then use in the simulator. So after clicking the build icon at the top and clicking OK, it just starts compiling all of the things together. I then click close, and that's my output configuration. So just go back, and now I'm going to create what's called a viewer. Now, a viewer allows you to view the page that we've created here while you're running the simulation. And it can compile not just this page, but it can also compile the state module as well. So you can see here I've got the state module on the left and the viewer on the right, so and this page on the right. And now in this area here I can add my inputs and outputs. So if I had inputs tags that I was driving, I can put them tags on the left, and the outputs which I've created in the client IO schedule, I can put them on the right as I've done here, and click next. And then a viewer will be created. Now I'm going to organize this really quickly. Now all I'm doing here is just moving things around and putting them in the right place to make it look a little bit better. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up what's called the SI emulator, which is just the simulator area, and I'm going to load in the output configuration that I created earlier. So now I've loaded that into the simulator, I can press play and link this viewer to that simulator. So now this is now playing, and we can see that it's not working the way we would expect. It's supposed to go amber, but it doesn't go to amber on the lights on the left. So obviously that was purposeful, and now I'm going to go back to my state module, and it looks like I haven't set the logic gate at the top to an OR. So what that means is basically at the moment it's saying on that state and that state that I want this tag to go high. So I want this to be an OR. So I just right click on that, switch it to an OR, and now it's when either of those are true that it will go red. So I also need to set this middle one to an OR as well, because both need to be on at the same time. So just right click on that and set that to an OR, and that should be it. Now I need to go back to my output configuration, and I need to rebuild because I've changed the logic. So I need to rebuild that. And now that's been rebuilt, I close it down, open up the emulator again, and I want to reload the configuration because I rebuilt it. I then want to open my viewer, connect it in the top left hand corner, and I want to go back to my simulator and play it again to see if it's working. And as we can see, it is going from red to red, amber, yeah, then green, then hopefully back to amber again on its own, and there we go, and then back to red again. And that's it, guys. That's the first installment of how to iDefine. I hope you found it interesting, and I hope you can see the benefits you could apply to your engineering lifestyle as and when you will, whether it's building planes or ships or power plants or whatever it is that you build. I hope that it helps you in some way. If you want to ask me any questions, please leave a comment below. You can subscribe. I'm going to be releasing more and more videos which are going to enhance what you've seen today. You know, maybe it's a pedestrian crossing, or maybe it's a sensor that detects cars and things like that, and also start to expand it out. So take these modules that I've created and create bigger and bigger junctions and see how all these things can fit together. All right, guys, yeah, like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.